Hey, this is Paula.
Hi, and this is Patricia.
Welcome back to the Painted City.
We are so thrilled today to chat with our special guest today, Gareth Edwards, artist, curator, gallerist, and founder of A Perfect Union Art Gallery. Hi, Gareth.
Hi, how you doing? Thank you so much for having me on today. This is such an honor. Thank you.
We're honored.
Thank you for coming. I'm very excited for your episode because you're doing so much. You have so much going on.
Yeah, you have a lot going on. That's true. I'm just so excited to, tell the folks about opportunities that are out there, open calls, and, everything that I have going on that I'm connected with.
Oh, and we're happy about that too. I know that you're involved a lot in the community outside of just the open calls and everything. Mm-hmm. What are some of the community things that are important to you that maybe you've had your hand in the past year?
Well, that's a great question.
Question.
Yeah, I've been involved very much in the community, and at my gallery we have a lot of community-based exhibitions, things that highlight important community events and those that are doing incredible things in the community. Right now, in the gallery, we have an exhibition called It's Cheeto, which is a Mexican expression that means it's cool. Mm-hmm. And it's an exhibition that honors the heritage, Hispanic Heritage Month. Mm-hmm. And we have 11 artists, Latino artists, that are sharing Hispanic culture through their art.
It's beautiful.
That is beautiful. I mean, and when we talk about Hispanic culture, especially growing up in Florida, you realize that it's not all the same culture. But, when we talk about it, are they Mexican heritage? Are they Cuban? Are they, from Latin America? Are they from Spain? I think it's a very good thing. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republican, to bring all of that different for awareness. And just when we talk about awareness, cultural awareness.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And, what I'm doing right now, I'm actually creating a not-for-profit called the Perfect Union Arts and Culture Initiative. And what we plan to do is next year, 10 months out of the year, we're going to, for each month, we're going to have a different one of the 10 regions of the world, and we're going to select artists from countries within that region, and we're going to have opening reception to, basically represent the cultures of that region. And just part of what we do, because, A Perfect Union Art Gallery is about celebrating American diversity. We believe that if we ask our artists to share culture through art, that's a path to greater unity, and that's really what it's about.
And I love how you're not just local, you're going global now. You really are. Yeah. Did you realize that?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, all of these cultures tie back to the heritages here in Central Florida. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have all the cultures are here. So mm-hmm. Why not celebrate the cultures as Central Floridians, mm-hmm. And tie it back to where we're originally from?
No, I mean, I think that's great. And, not everyone has the time or the ability to travel to bring that exposure. One of the things that I learned in social work that I thought was so interesting is this perspective that our eyes open when we travel, but the percentage of people who never travel outside of 50 miles of their home.
Absolutely.
And you, with this initiative, you're kind of bringing the world to people who might not be able to travel outside of their home and giving them the exposure of the culture, the beauty, and just that rich heritage.
Absolutely. It's so important. And it's not only to the benefit of the folks that are from that culture, but others who don't know anything about that culture. Mm-hmm. Through art, we can share so much. We can share our norms, our traditions, our icons, and we can learn so much about each other. Yes. So that's why, it's really about, connecting with everyone, mm-hmm. and bringing everyone into the fold and understanding so much about, how similar we are, how much we
Absolutely.
Have in common.
And I've been to your gallery several times, and I love how you bring in not only the arts component, but you bring in poets of that culture.
Absolutely.
You bring in clothing, you bring in food. It's a feast for the senses.
You know, that is such a good point, Patricia, because in my space at the West Oaks Mall, it's uniquely positioned where we can use the common area to have a whole reception of, in an expanded area, and we're able to have, like 100 people sitting down and taking in what we do. We have a podium, we have of course, we have speakers, we have microphones, we have backdrop, and we have a full audio-visual experience. But and we also are able to have a separate entrance and operate after the mall hours. So
I know.
it's really, amazing how we can set up this venue to have these exhibitions. And
Yeah, it's beautiful. I've been fortunate enough to be in 2 of your exhibits. I think your first exhibit that
That's
you had,
right.
the first, yeah.
the first one.
first
I even
Canaanite.
remember the art that you had that I love.
One's right behind you.
Yeah, I love that. And so that was really wonderful how we met and how you were involved in the gallery from the very beginning.
We have to thank, and Paula knows her too, our student Cindy Meadows, I think, introduced
Yeah,
us.
that's
She said, you
right.
have to meet this lovely gentleman that I met during First Thursday.
That's right. I
At OMA.
always, appreciate Cindy for connecting us.
Likewise. Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah, thanks, Cindy. And Cindy, where have you been? I've been trying.
I know.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, we're able to have fashion shows. We're able to have spoken word and performances. We've had so many different types of performances, so it's really been wonderful.
No, I mean, that's great to hear. And spoken word, slam poets, just that. I'm very excited, so I need to make sure that I make it down to the studio.
That's Paula's wheelhouse right there.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I will be honest, I haven't been to West Oaks since the Borders. I think
The
when I
Borders.
worked there to open the Borders down there.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's been a while since I've been to West Oaks, but we're going to do a trip because, I know since I've met you at First Fridays here at Favo, I was like, okay, we're going.
Field
Yeah,
trip.
no, I get that a lot. That a lot of people say, "Hey, the West Oaks Mall had its day. It used to be the mall, and things got a little quiet, but they're trying to come back." And and there's like I said, there's so many community organizations there now. There's an insurance school. There's a medical assistant training school, nursing school, and there's a lot of, there's a dance studio, and there's a podcast studio there too, a film studio
Wow.
that covers all of my activities too. So that's
Nice.
really
That's
special.
nice.
Well, you had asked about the community organizations and community activities that I'm involved in. And I definitely want to mention the Triple O Interactive Art Game, which is a game I created. I brought to Fusion Fest, and they've fully embraced it. And we've, for the most part, has been operating the game at my gallery. And what I love about the Triple O game, it's all about bringing people into the whole art scene, really, the whole, I used to go to galleries, and I noticed that sometimes you don't even get to meet the artist, and sometimes you don't learn anything about the artist's background and where you can, see more of their art, and then what is the meaning behind the art. So I created this game that really engages everyone, engages the artists and the guests, and where people learn about the artist's journey, what their style and the meaning behind their work. It's called the Triple O Interactive Art Game, and the name comes from the decisions that the judges and ultimately the artists can give on the contestant's interpretation. So the game is all about a contestant trying to figure out what a particular piece of art is all about. Yes, and so the Triple O is the judges and ultimately the artists will say whether or not the contestant's interpretation is on track, off track, or off planet. So it's really fun, and just like your reaction, folks have really embraced it, and the community really comes out for the game, and it's amazing to watch because the questions that come up that they ask, and the ideas that are generated. It's really entertaining. So it's really been fun. And then at the end, the artist gets to tell the full story on what the art is all about and their story, their background, and also where we can find out more about their artwork and how we can buy it. So that's what the game does.
Nice.
That sounds amazing, because not only have you found a way to bring in the community, but you get like full immersive engagement.
Exactly.
I love the off-planet.
Well,
Is that often that happens?
it doesn't happen often enough. But Off-Planet is
Wait
great.
till Paul and I go.
Right? How many abstract artists do you have there?
Oh, we have a good number of abstract artists.
Awesome.
And that's a good challenge, because you have to really pay attention
Yes.
Yeah.
to everything with the abstract art.
I
You
can
have to
imagine.
really zone in and, the tones, the shapes, and everything to really figure it out. But abstract art has a story just as strong as figurative and
Yeah.
other types of art. So,
I think artists would appreciate that, to hear a different perspective of what they have.
well, the artist is king in this game, and they all love it, and we often have tears.
I can
The
imagine.
art, that's what it's
Yeah.
all about. It's all about letting the community know how much thought, how much work goes into a work of art by an artist.
Well, no, and I feel you. When I've had pieces at Creole Day, that we have the writing workshops, and the instructor, a lame person, she's actually sent me one or two things with permission from the writer of people who have written to my paintings and the prompts. And one of them did it when I was actually in the class and read it to me. And I almost like cried right then and there, because other people see so many different things in the artwork that I don't see, maybe as the creator, or that maybe I glanced over its importance, or I was focused on this small part here. And it really makes me love art, because I can create it, but it's the journey it takes is where it takes you.
Absolutely. One thing I love about the game is really what you're saying, is that the revelations not only come from the guests and the viewers and those who are trying to interpret, they come from the artist. When they see an aspect that they hadn't really thought about, but is being received by the audience.
And how wonderful that you're bringing that to the forefront. I saw a quote the other day, and you know me about quotes. I know you're going to say, Patricia, another quote. But I read, let's say, a phrase somewhere, and it said, art or creativity is not a factory. It's a garden that should be nurtured.
Oh, that's good. I'm
Write
gonna
that
have
down,
to use
Paula.
that.
Isn't that beautiful?
Right?
Art
It
is not a factory. I mean, there are some people, believe me, I've been on a deadline, and it's like, man, I got to crank out some work fast for a deadline, like 5 pieces or 6. And that was in the past, and they turned out fine. But then I said to myself, this is not how I want to create. I want to be a garden, not a factory.
That really is true. That's like my experience with art. I can tell you
Right?
that.
And speaking of art, you're actually an artist as well as a community builder, a curator, a gallery owner.
That's so true.
Does your business card, do you need to turn it over with all your titles?
Actually, no, it doesn't have any.
Soon it will be that way.
Yep, but I don't put it out there. Really don't. And
But now you
sometimes
will.
folks forget that I'm an artist, because I really focus on being a platform for local artists. So I often don't even put my art out there. But right now, I actually have a piece at City Arts. So,
I know, we're hanging
so
together.
That's very cool. But my journey as an artist has been really, really different, really unique, I think, because, I started out I worked in New York City government for 32 years, and a really stressful job. I was an IT manager, leading development projects for a very large social services agency. And when, at the end of the day, I was so tired, I would go home, and to relax, I would paint and create. And over the years with experimentation, I really developed a way of painting on non-porous surfaces like glass and metal. And so that's really my style. I paint on glass for the most part. My paintings are on glass, and the wearable art that I create is on metal. So it's really kind of a different niche, but interesting.
Is it jewelry?
Jewelry, I call it wearable art because they are paintings, and
Yeah.
and when you look at them and you see the layers and the textures and stuff, you're like, okay, that's different. And I should have, next time, if you ever invite me, I'll bring some for you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm very, I love the idea of wearable art, especially because when I think of wearable art, and this is just me, I kind of think of the 80s when we have like the tag shirts with our logos, like we're about to go out and do a dance battle on the cardboard, you know, electric boogaloo style.
Yeah.
No, it's not electric. It's breaking. Electric.
Electric
What's
Boogie?
Electric
Yeah.
boogie, breakdancing.
It's the breakdancing movies.
Well, hey, I'm from New York, so I know all about that. And from the Bronx, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Originally from Antigua, but my mom came, brought us up, and we lived in the Bronx, and that's pretty much where I grew up.
How long have you been in Central Florida for?
About 6 years now.
6. So I met you when you kind of first came to town,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
When I first came to town, you know, I took an early retirement from government work, 33 years. And I just wanted to come here and focus on my art. I got involved in the local art scene. I was one of those First Thursday artists at OMA. And that's where I met my first really group of artists. And from there, I connected with that group. And they, you know, ultimately led to me meeting you and other folks. And you know, what I noticed when I first came here, that there's so much talent in this town
So much.
and just not enough venues. So I saw an opportunity to create a venue, to open a gallery. So I just seized the chance. And since then, I've primarily been a platform for local artists to share their art.
You have come a long way. Think about that from when you first arrived.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's like, I don't even understand it. You know, it's like, I'm so lucky. You know,
Your heart was in the right place.
I think so, because I think you're right, because I have no explanation on why. I feel like I love engaging with this community right now. I feel so blessed to have a gallery and to have artists out there and to be able to do what I want with the gallery and have such a great relationship with the West Oak Mall management and then Fusion Fest.
It's huge.
Yeah, Terry Olson, came to, I would invite Terry because I knew that he was the director of Arts and Cultural Affairs. So he, came to the gallery and then he said, hey, why don't you get involved in Fusion Fest? So he brought me in as the,
Smart man.
as the visual arts curator. And it's just been such a wonderful experience. I love the organization, Fusion Fest. And we're celebrating our 8th festival coming up this Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, so tell us a little more about Fusion Fest, because I went 2 years ago and it's just mind-blowing. It is so amazing and beautiful and just rich with culture and food.
It truly is. It's such it's such a wonderful organization. We have a wonderful leader, executive director, Maria Fernandez Aveja right now. And I just love it. Their mission is to really celebrate the many cultures in Central Florida, a lot like what my gallery has been doing from the beginning. But Fusion Fest is an organization that just does so much and has, they in the festival, and they have things going on, throughout the year. But in the festival, I mean, there's fashion, there's culinary delights, there's performances, spoken word, and visual arts, and much more. There was a study years ago, I know you would know more about it, but I remember there was a study that lasted decades, and I forget almost everything about it, but what I know is that what they studied a population over several decades, and what they came up with is that we all have challenges, but how we deal with those challenges is really the difference.
Yeah, I mean, and my research with trauma has shown that someone who's been through trauma, if they have one supportive person, they are more likely to be able to move past it. That one of the biggest, scariest things about, trauma or societal problems is that people become islands.
Exactly.
For me, part of my art journey was coming home from working at inpatient units and putting a brush in my hand and just taking all of that frustration, all of that, the trauma that you hear of other people, all of that pain, and finding a place for it to go so that it wasn't just inside me.
Wow, absolutely.
Thank you, Gareth, for bringing that up, because as an instructor at Crealde, we've seen a lot of folks that they're there because this is therapy for them.
Absolutely.
People have come back and given feedback and saying, wow, making art at Crealde or in your class or in the sculpture class or in, a photography class, this is our refuge. This is our release. This is our therapy.
There's absolutely something therapeutic about creating.
Yes.
And I experienced that myself. As I mentioned, when I used to go home stressed out, I would start painting, and
It's cathartic.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's a cathartic release, absolutely.
It's a way just to let out everything. It's cathartic. It's a release. It's, my own joy, I guess, if we were talking about joy, because I can leave everything there and I have space left inside of me to do other things.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being a champion for the arts in Central Florida and continuing this. We can't let the arts die. So many things are, they've been taken away from us historically, but man, nobody's taking our art away, ever.
Oh, a champion for the arts. I received that. That is so, thank you.
Well deserved.
Yeah,
I'm not
well
just saying that. You
deserved.
are. Look at that.
Thank you. I
You don't realize
appreciate
that until people are telling you this, right? He's so humble,
Oh.
which we love that about you.
I feel very lucky, the folks that I've met and been involved with since coming to Central Florida.
We're lucky to have met you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Now, with all of the stuff you have going on, all the stuff you have doing in the community, what is, if you had to choose something that you wanted people to know about you in general and all of the stuff or your passion, what would it be for our listeners?
Well, honestly, my passion revolves around unity. That's important to me, because when I was 13, I went to a boarding school with folks from all over the world. And we lived together, we grew up together. And, we learned so much about each other. We got along pretty much very well. And I just, that was such a great growing experience for me. And when I left school and, went to college and came back here, I always longed for that unity, that feeling of togetherness, no matter what people look like, So I kind of love that. And that's sort of something that's always been important to me. And I named the gallery a Perfect Union Art Gallery, celebrating American diversity. To further that whole unity theme and togetherness.
No, I absolutely love that.
How your early roots, your early beginnings, look at that, and fast forward to now. And you manifested that. You made that happen.
And the thing is, Patricia, I didn't realize I was manifesting my experience.
You never do.
No, I had to think about it. I'm like, why am I? I'm like, wow, this has been what I've been about from the beginning. It's just sort of like an epiphany. But yeah, it's incredible.
I believe when your heart's pure and you're really in it and you don't even think about it, you just do.
You just do it.
You just do it. Do it hard, do it crazy, do it, unscripted, just like Paula and I here sometimes.
And you mentioned, Paula, what I'm doing that's personal to me. There is something that I'm doing that's very different, and it is about unity and connection among families and groups. And like I mentioned before, I developed through experimentation a way of painting bright and rich colors on metal and glass and wearable art, which is jewelry. I've done something that's very different. It's called the Love and Legacy Curations, where I create wearable art, jewelry, and family sets, and it's very unique and different. I really want you to see what it's about.
Sure.
And it's not like I'm trying to promote it or trying to make a sales pitch, but it's really something about unity and connection.
But I don't think there's a shame in promoting it. You're building community, you're building something, and you're opening the doors and giving exposure, to people that might not have made it. The first time I ever left the United States, I went to school in University of Pretoria, South Africa. Talk about a culture shock for me.
Wow.
And my first piece of art that I literally bought for myself was from one of the vendors, and the side of the street had this beautiful painted artwork of just the landscape. And that was the first piece of art I bought for myself. And the whole trip coming back and everything, I had this, canvas wrapped up, and I'm carrying it like a baby through customs, through everything, that I carried this from South Africa to Atlanta, then to drive from Atlanta to here. And that was my first piece of art.
Wow.
That connection. So when we're talking about it, I want you to promote, and I'm very excited for this event. Anything that builds community and family, just that engagement.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And, one thing that's, since we're talking about that, it's very unique and different, and you might be a little shocked, is that, so I create these things, but what the legacy aspect is, because I can take, for loved ones that we want to remember, we can take a personal material, I combine it with a light-emitting polymer, and introduce it to the necklace before it's sealed, to the pendant before it's sealed, seal it, and then after that point, if you introduce light or heat, that element glows.
Wow.
See, I absolutely love that. I love that. My personal journey, I actually got tattoos for my loved ones that have passed away. So
Now you need one of
yeah,
Gareth's pieces. We
because
all
now
do.
I need some wearables so I can switch things out, because I can't just change my tattoo going, I don't really want to wear you today.
Yeah, it's definitely, I would definitely want you guys.
We can't.
It's very
We can't
different.
wait for the launch.
No, we can't.
Thank you.
Before we move into our lightning round, I just kind of have one question. What would you give to our listeners who hear you and feel inspiration about how to get involved?
What's
Oh.
the best advice?
The best advice on how to get involved in art?
In art, in community, in
I would say, first, believe in yourself. Believe in what you're doing, and that you have value, and you are an authentic person. And if you're a creator, believe in what you create, because others will, as long as it's true and it's you, others will be inspired and will engage and will love it. So I would say, be yourself, get involved. Don't feel that you're not enough, because you are more than enough. If you're an artist, get involved in these open calls. Send in your work. You're good enough. Your work is good enough. So do it. Get involved.
Every word you said is so true.
I can't tell you how many times I run into a person who doesn't want to say they're an artist, and then you see their work. I'm like, what do you mean? You are an artist, and they want to hold back.
They want to hold
Because,
back.
yeah, because of, the lack of confidence. So,
I've seen body language almost diminish in front of me, right, Paula? We've seen that.
yeah.
Like they almost like hunch over and
Absolutely.
say, "No, I kind of paint," and then you see their work, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? This is gorgeous."
Exactly.
So own it.
What you're
Own it.
doing with your students is incredible. What a difference you made in their lives. And Alexia is one of them.
I love her.
and
We all do.
I will say it takes a while for us to say the A word, because when I started on my journey, I would say, "Oh no, I'm just a crafter. Like I'm a crafter on, like okay, I'm a crazy crafter. You give me a hot glue gun, some recycled straws, some string, and some paint, and
Glitter, or that's not allowed. in
oh
your
no,
house?
no,
Sorry.
I'm not allowed glitter anywhere in my house because of a mistaken glitter event in my house." Long story short, I did something in the back porch. There was glitter. My husband got up the next morning to mow before I cleaned anything. Ran the lawnmower over the glitter. Glitter went all over him, all over everything. And until we got rid of that lawnmower, every time he mowed, it spit glitter. Glitter is not allowed anywhere near my house. But I would avoid saying the word artist. And it took me years to say, no, I'm also an artist, because I was like, oh, no. Or I'd say, oh, well, no, I'm an abstract. Because if people would say, oh, are you an artist? I'm like, yeah, I'm abstract. It takes a while to get your own, I guess, your own voice or your own strength.
Absolutely. I have to tell you this quick story. Just happened yesterday. So I'm in the gallery, okay, and two young people walked in, very young, two girls, and they couldn't be more than 12 and 13. So they were interested in looking around. So they were looking around. I said, hey, if you have any questions, let me know. And I said, you guys are artists, aren't you? And so one of them looked at me in confidence and said yes, and the other one said no. And they're both
Different perspective, right?
Yes, different
yeah.
perspectives. So of course I said, asked them, hey, well, do you sketch? Do you paint? And I said, well, you're an artist.
No, and I mean, I love that. It might take time, but everyone will get their voice and say the A word.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're moving on to our lightning round. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. What was your last impulse buy?
What was my last impulse buy? Music.
Cake or pie?
Pie. Pecan.
Ooh.
Bonus
okay.
point.
Bonus.
Ooh.
All right. What object do you misplace the most?
Oh my God, my socks, but that's not very interesting.
Hey, but it's true. So,
Favorite food city?
New Orleans.
all right. So I asked this of every Food City New Orleans person. For your gumbo, tomatoes or no tomatoes?
Oh, tomatoes. I want everything in the gumbo. Everything except people.
That would be,
Illegal, probably.
yeah, I would think so.
Right, I think so.
What is your favorite or go-to karaoke song?
Oh my gosh. It's called Your Song. by
Elton John.
Elton John.
Oh,
That's my song.
I got chills.
Oh,
I love
man.
that song.
I try to pretend I could sing it almost every other day.
You know we were going to ask you that, but
Oh, you
No.
don't want to do that.
All right, and your
Okay.
final question.
Final question. If you could meet a historical figure, who would it be?
Mandela, Nelson Mandela.
Oh, yes. I love Nelson Mandela. I read his whole book on my flight back from Africa.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I went to Winnie Mandela's house in
You
Soweto.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go to South Africa so bad.
We'll talk. I'll tell you some great places to go. So, for all of our listeners, how will they find you, follow you, and find out all the new events and things you have brewing?
Well, first you can get everything from my website, aperfectunion.org. And you can also find me on Instagram at A Perfect Union Art and Facebook, also A Perfect Union Art Gallery. And you can come by the gallery in the West Oaks Mall at Tuesday through Saturday, 12 to 6, and say hello.
Yeah, you have so much going on, so we're all excited to go visit.
Oh, I'm excited to have you.
And thank you so much for coming and spending time with us.
I'm so honored. You guys are so amazing.
You are.
I mean, you guys, the chemistry here is fabulous. I love you guys. Thank you. I'm so honored that you invited me.
We're honored
It's a
and
wonderful experience.
really excited to have you on. And thanks for all that you're doing in Central Florida in the name of art.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I received that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.